We go from the West Coast to the East Coast and everything between, folks. You are live with the Godfather of West Coast hip hop, my man Dusty Vision. From Eve After Dark to Doodles to Eve After Dark to concerts in the park. This is how we do it, folks. Every Tuesday, talk about hip hop and more, folks. Your boy Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop, and my co-host, my partner in crime, my fellow Gemini, Dusty Baker. Dusty One? What's up with you, Doc?
Man, I'm doing great, man. How you feeling today?
I don't know why I wanted to call you Dusty Baker, maybe because the Braves stepped off in the Dodgers' ass. I don't know. What's up with you, man?
That hurt, man. That hurt. I'm doing good. Aside from that, I'm a big Dodger fan, but other than that, man, I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
I cannot complain, dude. I had a good week. I'm in the studio making things happen. As you can see, we got a new look. Some things have come my way, so I've been playing with all my toys lately, man. So it's a good thing.
I love that, man. I love that. Before we get into the lot to talk about all the time, but before we get into some of the stuff, I want to talk about something that you brought up right before the show that I thought was an awesome look for our people, for fathers as well. The dads on duty situation in Louisiana. Talk to me about that.
Man, I saw the other day, man. It gave me chills up my arms, man, because they were talking about how these kids was fighting. They was catching cases. They was fighting for 2 or 3 weeks straight. 2 or 3 weeks straight, they going at it, man. And the dad's like, you know what? Forget this, folks. Let's go put on some T-shirts. We're gonna patrol the school. We're gonna stop this shit. And that's something that not only should be in the school, but should be in the neighborhood. Okay? I'm gonna tell you something about my neighborhood. The neighborhood I grew up in, me and my sister was talking the other day. And as a kid in my neighborhood, every house in my neighborhood was a 2-family house, a man and husband and wife. Okay, we talking about in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
Every house on my block was a original couple, man and woman. Okay, and we had a whole different code on our street. And slowly but surely, people moved. Some of the fathers died, and the neighborhood changed, man. The neighborhood changed. The men who kept them youngsters in line weren't there no more, okay? And the youngsters took over, for real. You know, and no disrespect to the single moms, but it's real hard to tell a youngster who's giving you $500, $1,000 from selling dope that you can't accept this money.
Exactly.
Daddy will tell you, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Get out of here with that, okay? But sometimes mama been struggling for a long time. I can't blame her for it, but when they do, that makes you accessible to their bullshit. And next thing you know, things is coming to your house that shouldn't be there. You got people looking for you, looking for him, shooting at folks. Anyway, folks, I think that Dads on Duty is probably one of the best things I've seen on Facebook in a long time.
Yeah, I really love that, man. And where do you think we went wrong? Because like you said, back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, even when we were segregated and, right after slavery and things like that, it was a 2-parent household. Where did we go wrong?
That's what happened, man. In the 70s, I was watching a documentary. I think King got killed in 68. By 1970, they was telling the black women they didn't need the men. They didn't need men. You don't have to have a man in your house. I'll send you a check if there's no man in your house. So it became economically feasible for a woman to not have a man in the house. Plus, if they had a woman working at a job, they killed 2 birds with 1 stone when it came to the segregation situation. Okay, affirmative action. They had a double minority. They got a woman and a black and a woman. So now you ain't got to hire 2 black folks. I bet the head game been going on for a long time, Doc. The head game been going on for a long time.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah, they made it to where you're dependent, and now the government is the baby daddy. The government is the man of the house.
The government's the big brother. So if daddy don't pay the child support, call me, baby. I got your back. Call me. If he don't pay, I got you. Don't worry about it. And that's how a lot of girls treat the child support system. If don't make me go to court. Don't make me call my lawyer. Oh, baby, okay. Nobody want that on their ass. So you got a system that actually divides the family it makes it economically feasible for the mama not to want to be down with the daddy or use the system as the club to keep the daddy in line. Meanwhile, they ain't enforcing nothing on her. Maybe spend the money how you want to. Don't worry about we ain't gonna audit you. You ain't worry about it. If the kid turn 18, can't go to college, don't worry about it. We'll put his ass in jail.
Yeah.
So it's a cold game, man, and unfortunately, we've been falling victim to it for a long time.
Yeah, man. And like you said, no disrespect to the single moms, but
no disrespect. You gotta do what you gotta do, baby. You gotta do what you gotta do. But sometimes you got to look at the whole pie, not just the part you want to eat, because sometimes that shit comes with a price.
Yeah. Tell us about the time your dad thought you were selling dope, but you were really legitimately doing your thing.
My old man, he was a funny dude, man. He was a hustler, okay? And here's the crazy part. I tell the story sometime, but my daddy was from Mississippi, okay? If you ever see Cadillac Records, my old man was one of them kind of cats, okay? When he wasn't working, he was well dressed. When he wasn't working, he was well dressed. And when he stepped out, he usually had a gun somewhere near him. I never saw him pull it out, never saw him put it in his waistband, but he always had one with him. And his thing was his specialty was gardening, cutting trees, sprinklers, anything had to do with outside your house, yards, whatever. That was my dad's thing. And he taught me all that stuff. I could do all that stuff right to this day. And sometimes I do it just to keep myself grounded. But he thought I was selling. My mom had passed. I moved into her house. And I'm staying there by myself. By this time, everybody in my neighborhood is selling weed pretty tough. Crack ain't hit yet. They still selling weed and sherm. And it was technically his house. So he walked in the house. I'm in there counting money. I'm minding my own business, counting money. Where do you get all that goddamn money from? He thought I was selling dope. Dude, he's about to put hands on me. Hey, Pops, calm down. You know I ainto doing that. And I said, man, I got it from DJing. He never cared for, in the beginning, he never cared for my DJ choice because I had to cancel plans he had for me for working for Caltrans and go to do my DJ career. I said, no, man, I ain't doing that. I'm doing Alpine Village. He knew where Alpine Village was, and we passed it every week, every Saturday, going to cut lines in Torrance. And I said, come by one day, man, see what I'm doing before you kill me. Just see what I got going on. And he did. And that's how I got into the Eve After Dark, because his partner had just built a room on top of his club, a banquet hall, technically. And he got me in there, and I stayed there for 40 years, man.
Damn. And see, not only did he keep you in check, you were doing legit shit, but you never know. It could have been some illegal activities, but he kept you in check. And not only that, we need fathers around to introduce us to people, to get us to that next level at times, because a lot of other races have that, and we
yeah. Hey man, this is my son. Look out for him. He told me, Ben, I can get you in, but I can't keep you in, man. Mm-hmm. That's the first thing. I can get you in, but I can't keep you in. And that right there, plus the fact that my old man Jeffy, who owned the building, would pop in from time to time. They just give me the keys and go home. They made sure I was doing shit the right way. My daddy, for the first 4 or 5 months, my dad was at the club every weekend, just seeing what I was doing, keeping an eye on it, making sure I knew what I was doing. All of a sudden, he became one of my best customers. He's out there boogieing his ass off. Okay, he had the old man strut, and it was cool, man, because he started playing them youngsters. Hey, my son owned the club. I get you in. Come on up here, girl. And that was his thing, And he hung out with us. I'm gonna start this little session, man. At the end of the show, if it don't get too deep, I'm gonna show you some old school pictures of Eve After Dark, including my daddy, man. Even me and my dad at Eve After Dark, because he was once I got it going on, once I had it going, he was very proud of what I accomplished. And one day I gotta tell you the story. My old man bought a house after my mom split up. He bought a house, and I guess it came time for what they call a balloon payment. And back then, the balloon payment might be $1,500, $2,000. Now they're $30,000 or $40,000. Well, my old man didn't know how good I was doing. I saw he was stressing. He was stressing big time. What's wrong, Pops? Oh, I got to pay this balloon payment, and I'm a little short. He wasn't asking for no money or nothing. I says, how much you need? He said, I'm about 2,000 short. And shit, man, I had a safe full of money. I went in and got him a shoebox, didn't tell him nothing, just walked over to his pad. Hey, man, here you go. Where you get this money from? Come on, man. What? It's like, he said, you doing it like that? I'm doing it like that. Gave him two racks, man. That was the proudest moment of my life, man. That was one of the proudest moments of my life. And here's two. My old man, I'm kind of like my dad. My old man's a sensitive dude, and I am too. He said he made a tear ran down his face because he had cussed me out. Let me go back a minute. He had cussed me out for not taking the job at Caltrans. We wasn't even that tight for a minute. The first time he cussed me out like he didn't know me because he had been grooming me for this job at Caltrans on the freeways for so long. And I had the chance. I didn't take it. And we fell out for a minute, but like a good dude would, he stepped to me, and I got fired from the job that he told me I was going to get fired from. And by that time, I was doing the Alpine Village. He hooked me up with Jeffy, and I never looked back, man. And we got back right back where we started from. And that $2,000 helped out a whole lot, and just let him know I got it. You know, I'm all right. I got this, dude. I got this. So
yeah. I love that, man. Your father sounds like he was an amazing dude.
Man, he really was. I didn't realize he was a gangster. Not really a gangster, but he cut lines. He had a regular job every day, 9 to 5, cut on the freeway. He hustled hubcaps. He sold copper. He sold scrap. He booked horses. Okay, that was the hustle. That was the illegal hustle of the day. Booking horses. Okay, he played horses, and he said, never let your side hustle affect your household. All the money he made from the job went to the house. We went to private school, Catholic school, the whole 9 yards. I don't know nothing about no lights being off, eating top rock. I don't know nothing about that. We always had. Daddy had a Cadillac, and I lived what I thought was a middle class. I thought I was Leave It to Beaver, okay? But he also he liked to drink. He liked to go out and hang out. And when he got that money from cutting lawns and booking horses.
Yeah. Well, let's move on. And before we move on, I got to say, platforms like us, we have to keep this dads of duty thing going because unfortunately, the media pushes all the negative shit about us, but you barely heard us squeak about this,
man.
This past week. Unfortunately, you have to go digging for things like that. So I encourage everybody out there to, if you have a platform like this, talk about it, because this dad's a duty thing needs to spread from city to city.
That's some real man shit right there, dude.
Yeah, man.
In fact, speaking of real men, dude, I was talking to a buddy of mine today, and I use you as a reference. And he said, hey, man, I want you to go meet this guy today. He's a good dude. Okay. And I told him, I said, you know what, man, we as black men need to start referring to ourselves. If you qualify to be a good dude, you need to, man, that's my boy, you're a good dude. Just like in Goodfellas, you're a good fella. Okay. You're a good fella. That means you was pre-approved by the brother by the guy that brought you around. Don't worry about him. You're a good fella. Well, you know what, Dusty, you're a good dude, man. And I appreciate you. And we as brothers need to let people know that we appreciate him, and give him, if the brother deserved a stamp of approval, man, give it to him. He ain't got to be a real nigga, because the real nigga will break into your house, steal your shit, and help you look for it. Okay?
Yeah.
A real nigga will break into your house, or a real nigga will come to your house and hit on your woman.
Yeah.
At your house. Your house. Okay? A real nigga will come to your house and find some shit. Find some shit at your house. Okay? Oh, man, nigga was slipping. That nigga left that ring on the table, man, and shit. Yeah, man. Nigga shouldn't be slipping. Well, that ain't no real brother. That's a good. That ain't no real nigga. That's just a nigga. Okay. And so I appreciate you. I've experienced niggas before, and it's hard to embrace a word that I know that no matter how you twist it, at some point in time, there's multiple derogatory terms that can be attached to it. So I'm gonna start this. Y'all need to start. If y'all watching this show, I got 25 people watching this show right now. If y'all got some brothers in your life, man, you start using that term, man. Good dude, that's a good dude, man. And brother, when he tell you that, man, you got to stand. You got to live up to that, man.
Yeah,
you got to live up to that. Live up to that. Okay, if you're a good dude, you're a good dude. Go ahead, Dusty.
Yeah, thank you, man. You almost made me shed a tear there, Playboy. Thanks.
Appreciate it, man.
Well, let's you know what? Let's get all the bad stuff out of the way because we gotta talk to Compton today. We gotta talk to Compton. Place your home, place that's near and dear to my heart as well. This story broke my heart when I read it, and I want your thoughts on it. Did you hear about the Compton minister that was shot on Sunday at 12 noon? I mean, there was a time where children and citizens and women were safe from the violence, but now it's like everybody's getting it, man.
Yeah, I did, man. That was one of the first things I woke up to yesterday morning was Reginald Reynolds, I think his name was, assistant pastor of the church in Compton over on Rosecrans and Dwight, was crossing the street and got shot multiple times and died right there in the street. What happened, why it happened, nobody knows yet. Nobody knows. Nobody knows who did it. Nobody knows why. His brother was 60. And they said he was 65. I did some checking. He was actually 67. And that concerns me, man. That concerns me, dude. Because, dude, you ain't got no regard for nobody? I mean, come on, man. You ain't got no regard for nobody. I don't know what he did. I don't know what kind of guy he was. Nobody seems to know anything about him. I don't know anybody know anything about the brother, so I don't know what kind of cat he is. Some cats is reformed through the church. He might have been a bad guy going good, but sometimes they should catch up with you. I don't know, but it's still, you would think on the Sunday, on the way to church, brother might get a pass. I'm just thinking. I'm just saying. If I'm wrong, if it's on site. I mean, come on, man. Even in The Wire. They tried to get Omar. That was the worst thing you could have did in The Wire. Was trying to kill somebody on the Sunday with his grandmama there. Come on, man. So no, man. We out of control, dude. In fact, I'm in another coalition of brothers from Grambling, people from Attorney General's office. Something gonna happen. Something got to happen real tough, man. I got a call yesterday that Grambling on the school in the campus of Grambling University, Louisiana, they had 2 shootings. I'm trying to figure out how you going to school to get smart, but you're still doing dumb shit.
Man,
how do you go to school to become intelligent, to get a further education, and continue to do dumb shit?
It hurts my mind. It hurts me, man.
I have a niece that goes to Grambling. I got partners going to Grambling. I was with a bunch of brothers. I think it was 4th of July, man, in the backyard of my buddy's pad. Everybody was from Grambling. I'm the only cat not from Grambling. And they were talking how much fun it was. Grambling has always been one of them schools, man, that people aspire to go to. Now we're going to put stigma on education? Come on, man. Mm-hmm. When that shit get out in the news, they be killing niggas down in Grambling. Come on, man. And 9 times out of 10, it was some cats, hopefully, that didn't really go to Grambling. But no matter what happens, the body fell on the campus of Grambling. Grambling gonna catch the beef.
Yeah.
The body fell on Grambling's property. Grambling, it was somebody got killed at Grambling. That's all the news gonna tell you.
Yeah.
Okay? Meanwhile, they down there fucking everything moving at USC.
Man.
Now USC got it going. Man, come on, man. That dude. You sending somebody to a college of that much prestige, that much money, and y'all down there giving the girls the blues. Allegedly. I gotta say allegedly. I gotta say allegedly. But the news, that ain't hey man, they got girls testifying, they got girls on camera. They had to shut down everything with alphabets on it. Everything got shut down because folks is doing way too much.
Yep.
Way too much.
Crazy, man. Just remember, everybody out there listening, that going back to the Grambling thing and the random shooting of the minister, Black lives will never matter to them until they matter to us. I can't say that enough.
Dude, Dusty, do you realize by us saying that, there are people that will argue with us behind that, man.
Yeah,
There
I get
are
it.
people that will
I
try
get it.
to justify. They will try to justify the killers in the streets. Oh man,
I
it's the
hate when they
oppression.
say, "Well, all races kill each other. White people kill
Yeah,
white people." I hate that argument, man. We do it at epidemic levels, dude.
you know that is the weakest argument of all. Yeah, people kill people closer to them in proximity. Okay, people kill people closer to them in proximity, but we are the only one that have an industry of this shit. Okay, we got a whole industry dedicated to our own annihilation, and we boogie to the shit all the fucking time. We boogie to the shit all. Yeah, shoot a nigga, put in work, and hey man, come on, dude. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna keep on saying it as long as this microphone work. And a gangster rap record yet been made that talked about killing anybody other than black folks? Tell me. And a gangster rap record yet been made that you putting in work, handling your business, and even sometimes, man, I look at some of the chat rooms on my own show. I respond to everybody. If I don't do nothing but push a like button on it. And some cats, it's like, if you ain't been a killer, you ain't a real man. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why is that? Why? It's amazing. Not only is black folks, but America in itself, we're kind of really in awe of the gangster. Okay, but when you have the gangster is your calling card. Every man probably has the ability to handle his business if you put his back against the wall. I don't think it takes a serious lesson in punkdom to let somebody just punk you out, okay? But for gangster to be your calling card all the time, and it's only pointed towards each other. As many people, as many groups, organizations, societies, and all the above that have issues with us as black folks, how can we have issues with ourselves? We need to be the most unified people in the world. Everybody's saying they're trying to get us.
For real. Yeah.
We should be the most unified people in the world, because the police, the government don't give a damn, the police don't give a damn. You got organizations that can't stand us for whatever reason. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm just saying that. I'm not hating nobody. I'm not hating on nobody. I'm just saying we need to think our position on some of this bullshit we've been doing for the last 50 years.
Yep.
50 years.
Yep.
We've adapted so many ways of our oppressor to this. He ain't got to do nothing no more but pick up the pieces. Ain't got to do pick up the pieces. Huh? He ain't got to worry about shooting nobody, because we're gonna kill a bunch of folks between now and Saturday. Okay. Folks are gonna tell on each other. Okay. They ain't gotta do a whole bunch. They're gonna tell on each other eventually. They're gonna keep it going on. We ain't gotta call them nothing. They call it themselves now. Come on, man. How it's like having an automatic brake draft. You get money every week. You get money every week. You getting everything that you did, everything that was done to you. Now we found a way to do it to ourselves. I mean, you can't go in certain hoods. Used to be a time you couldn't go in certain communities or certain towns. They call them sundown towns. You can't go in certain hoods without getting sweated. You would think a black man walking through the streets in a black neighborhood would be protected, or at least not for long, by black folks. You gotta watch out for the police and the brothers. Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah.
You gotta watch out for the police and the brothers. Trust me, I know. Got both the t-shirts.
Talk about some of the places, because you're 20 years older than I am, so you've experienced a different America than I did. What were some of the areas in LA where a black dude better not be caught past 6, 7 p.m. In the LA area? I know Downey was one of them.
Torrance, California. Torrance, Culver City had an issue with black folks for a while. Don't go to Glendale. Come on, man. Glendale just apologized for being called a sundown town. Okay.
Oh wow.
Glendale just recently apologized for being known as a sundown town. Okay. Long Beach wasn't really a sundown town, but you knew. We went to the Pike every week. We went to the Pike, hung out, and got our ass on Long Beach Boulevard as soon as we possibly could to get back into Compton. Okay. I think Torrance was the one I was familiar with the most. We cut lawns in Torrance. My dad cut lawns in Torrance on Saturday afternoons. And he just made a point to get out of there. Linwood, oh my God, Linwood was pretty rough for a while, man. Linwood was pretty rough for a while back in the 60s and 70s, man. One of the gangs that what they call them? The Spook Hunters. Spook Hunters out of
Southgate down here.
Yeah. So you can find to a certain area from a racial standpoint, then you can find a smaller area based on what block you run. Man, niggas living like hamsters.
That's real.
That's some hamster shit right there, man. Yep. You can't go to so many places. In the big as this world is, you're limited to go to certain places based on the color of your skin, man. And you can't even do that. You can't even travel safely in your own hood, man. We got to think about that bullshit right there, dude.
It's a damn shame, Lonzo. It's a damn shame. Modern day terrorism, man. Here's another story that kind of falls in line. I'm wondering if you heard about this. Popular rap group that goes by the name of SOB RBE. They're out of the Bay Area. They had a song on the Black Panther soundtrack. Really good group. They ended up breaking up, but one of the members of that group was shot this week and killed during a botched robbery attempt on a retired undercover police officer at a gas station. I don't know if you saw it. It was all common surveillance. I think it was
gas station shop. Gas station.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy was pumping gas, and 3 or 4 guys ran up on him, and he hit the passenger side and came out, and body started fleeing and falling. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Shout out to him. That's all I'm gonna say. These rappers are flossing in every song about how rich they are, what kind of cars they drive, how much their jewelry costs. Yet they're out here robbing people for a $300 cell phone and $40 in their wallet. What are your thoughts on that whole situation?
Dude, I saw that video and it made me wonder. Well, first of all, I saw the video. I didn't really read the caption, and it just made me more aware of the desperation that these youngsters have these days. Homeboy, he came out blasted, and he knew what he was doing. And it's the same thing. It's the same. I saw another video the other day where some young cat go walk into a grocery store and rob it, or a liquor store and rob it, and the customer turned around and took the gun from me. Okay, took his ass running. So now these guys, they only got a heart when they got a gun in their hand, man.
Yeah.
Only got a heart when they got a gun in their hand, and they think guns make them invincible. But if the other guy got a gun too, it's gonna be a problem. And that's the part they don't really understand. When the bullets are flying both ways, it's no longer a robbery, it's a gunfight. Okay? And people are actually getting tired of that. But it's sad, man, that you got to do this to your own people, though. That's the part I know. No matter, the man probably glad he alive, but the fact that he had laid down, I know one of them got laid down for sure. He had laid down one young brother, man. That definitely is going to be a problem for him going forward, because you feel vindicated because you was able to save your life, but you still took another black man's life. But he put you in that position.
Yeah,
they put you in that position, man. That man was minding his own business, pumping his gas. Pumping his gas, minding his own business. That's why I don't pump gas at night no more.
Nah, me either.
If I ain't no gas, I ain't going nowhere. And it's not, again, it's not about being scared, it's about being smart. And that's the part.
Vigilant.
You got to be smart, man. You don't, nigga, I wish nigga. Okay, fine. If you do and you ain't ready, what happened?
You a dead motherfucker.
Other day I was going to my buddy bought me lunch. He said, man, you fly, I'll buy. And as I was getting in my car, hey, what's up, man? What's up, Lonzo? And the guy had the mask on. I didn't recognize his body. I didn't recognize none of the body. And I'm trying to get to my car because I know in my car I'm gonna be safe. I'm gonna save. Okay. and he was talking. And the way he walked up on me is like he knew me, but I didn't know him. He was too comfortable. He was too close to my comfort zone. So I got in my car and I sat down and put my stuff down, and I got even more comfortable because I know where everything is in my car. And I, what's up, Doc? Oh yeah, man, we were talking about you the other day. Who was that? Who am I talking to? He pulled his mask down. Oh, okay, hi. Now, okay, everything cool now.
Now we good.
Now we good. But sometimes people be so comfortable, or I'm an approachable cat, and sometimes you don't recognize everybody, man. And hey, man, back I don't know you like that. Back up. I didn't do him that way. But at nighttime, I've done it. Hey, man, who are you? I don't know you like that. Oh, Lonzo was me, man. So and so. Okay, cool. So it puts you on alert all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All the time. And I don't like living like that, man.
No, I don't either, man.
I was hanging out in where was I at? I was out in Temecula, man, early this year. I ain't worried about nothing out there, man.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't worried about nothing but them grapes and that bottle of wine I was sucking on, man. That it's a whole different vibe, man. And this shit we doing to ourselves. Ain't nobody doing this to us. That's the part I don't understand. Ain't nobody doing this to us but us.
Yeah, man. Damn. When was the last year in your head, in your memory, that you could remember that you were able to walk around comfortably at, let's say, 9 p.m.? Just walk around the neighborhood, even go 3 blocks, go across that town like, they used to do back in the day to go to clubs, to come to your club.
Man, I'd say back in the late 80s, early 80s, late to mid 80s. I mean, I've always felt comfortable around my club, but when the generations changed, I knew everybody my age. I knew they all knew me. I knew most of their kids. I don't know their nieces and nephews. I don't know your grandkids. Okay, they don't know me like that. So, and that was the generation that the problems came in. The nieces and nephews, my side of the city, people started to move. So yeah, I'm gonna say probably about the mid to late 80s, because when crack came in the game, man, it just changed everything. Even Sherm wasn't as bad as crack when it came to fools. Okay, Sherm was not as bad because Sherm heads pretty much destroyed themselves. They get butt naked, walk down the street, direct traffic or something, asshole naked. Okay,
yeah,
they didn't really fuck with nobody. They didn't break into your house. Sherm heads. After you got you a good dose of Sherm, you was null and void for quite some time. Okay. It's people I know right now that are still null and void from the 70s and the 80s from smoking Sherm. I got a cousin right now, ain't been home since 1978 off of one Sherm stick. Okay? Wow. Ain't been home since 1978. Genius, smart brother. Play any instrument by ear. Okay? Got some of that bad loop? Shit. He been looping ever since.
Sad, man. Yeah. Crack took a whole other direction, huh?
Crack put people on the sense of desperation. We never did that to people. We never had desperation. Never. I'm supposed to go to bed. I'm gonna give me some ding dongs and some milk. I'm finna call it a night. We didn't do that. Crack. PCP nullified brothers. You might have gave the police. Might want to fight the police, but you didn't really do a whole bunch of shit. And when cats did smoke that shit to get up nerve to go do a drive-by. But even then, after he got through, he probably was naked with the gun in his hand on the corner.
Damn.
Crack put people in a desperate situation, man. That turned people into fiends. Break into your house. I was talking about a buddy of mine today. He's a recovered crackhead right now. He broke into my buddy's house at 11 o'clock at night. Stole all his cowboy boots. My boy had an alarm on his house. And when the cops were sitting there, the cops was waiting for him when he walked out the house. He got all my boys' cowboy boots in his house at his hands. Cops said, "Where you go with the man's shoes?" "I'm taking him to get him shined." Okay. It's 11:30 at night.
And again, he was quick with it too.
He was quick with it. "I'm taking him to get him shined." Okay. He shined up on 12 years too.
Oh man.
Okay. Best thing happened to him. Best thing ever happened to him.
Wow.
Best thing ever happened to him.
Okay? Is him going to jail for 12 years?
Him to go to jail for 12 years. New man.
Wow.
He's a new man now. He came back to himself. Ain't doing. He's square as you want to be.
Damn.
Okay, square as these monitors I'm looking at right now. So yeah, Doc, that was one of the best things happened to him.
Let's answer a few questions. Thank you to everybody in the chat room. And if you're listening to the sound of my voice, please hit that like button right below the video. Just really quick. We have 37 people in the building, 23 likes. If you guys can hit that like button, please, please, please. It helps out the algorithm, and it takes less than a second. So please hit it now. Thank you. Miami 808 says, and we've answered this before, but hell, let's get into it and maybe even tell a story or two, because I know there's a classic story in there about this. We've talked about this a couple times in the past. Did you attend the Watt-Stax concert in 1973 at the Coliseum?
Hell yeah.
What was LA culture? And he also says, what was LA culture like during that time? So yeah, talk about Watt-Stax. And was that the Jesse Jackson situation?
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay.
Sir. I went to the first Watt-Stax in 1973. I was 16 years old. It was all about naturals and bell-bottom pants and platform shoes. Isaac Hayes was the headliner. Staple Singers were there. Joe Tex in the short in the doing the funky chicken and hot pants. And that was the first time I saw Tookie and Jamel wreak havoc in a mass way. That day, man, it was crazy because you saw grown men who you know damn well wasn't no gangbanger. They were just following the crowd because these guys was taking leather jackets like they was valets at a nightclub. Okay, literally. And they was whooping ass, taking leather jackets, and they was walking through the crowd. You had a leather jacket. In fact, I'm gonna show you some of them leather jackets in a few minutes. Okay, but the deal was, I think the Rams or the Raiders was in the Coliseum at that time, and they didn't want nobody in the football field. It was a Saturday afternoon. Nobody on the football field. They didn't want to damage the football field because they had a game the next day. And as soon as music started playing, everybody started running down to the field, locking, not pop locking, and doing the splits and acting a fool. And the police had to stop the music, put them back in the stands. Stop the music, put them back in the stands. And it just got to the point where it got frustrating. So Jesse Jackson, he might not remember this shit because he got a little Alzheimer's, but I damn sure do, told the Crips to create a human chain around the track of the Coliseum to keep people from coming on the field. That shit lasted for about 2 songs. People started coming down because they didn't know who the Crips was. All they knew was there was a bunch of black brothers out there holding hands, trying to keep people from coming to the field. Man, the brothers ran down there trying to get past them brothers, and they started banging folks to start rushing people, knocking people out. And the cops, like, oh hell no! The cops walked up behind, stood up by the Olympic sign by the scoreboard, and just threw their hands up. Okay, and then Jesse Jackson realized that was a bad idea. Then he finally called the cops back down to secure the perimeter. But yeah, man, that was one of the craziest experiences of my life. I was 16 years old, and a personal story. Now, I tell a lot of personal stories. I keep it 100 for some reason. That's just what I do. That was the night I got put out of my mama's house. I got because that night at the Watt-Stax, all my partners was on the way home. They were smoking cigarettes. I never smoked, but as you very well know, if you be around cigarette smoke gonna get in your hands, get in your clothes. And I walked my ass in the house. It must have been about, I don't know, about 11:30, 12 o'clock, and my mama smelled smoke on me. And we had an argument, and she went to whooping on my ass. And dude, I tell this story, and she know God, she rest her soul. I don't know whether she was upset, her nose started bleeding or whatever, but she thought I hit her in the nose. All I did was put my hands up, and her nose started bleeding. And she swore to God I hit her. And boy, it was a cold night at my house, man. I had to leave the house that night. It was like by the time this shit jumped off, it was about 2 o'clock in the morning. I had to walk from my mom's house to my dad's house through what we call the rabbit field. The rabbit field was about a mile long, about a half a mile wide, from El Segundo, from Main Street to Figueroa. It was nothing there but a factory. But it was a lot of bushes and weeds, and we rode mini bikes over there and went hunting with BB guns for rabbits. And man, it was the most scariest thing I've done in my life as a kid. And I tell you something else. As a grown man, from time to time, I still have nightmares about crossing that goddamn rabbit field at night. I made it. But I got to my dad's house. My dad, he was asleep. Didn't hear the doorbell ring. I had to sleep in this goddamn truck. Okay? So yeah, the goddamn watch stacks will forever be etched in my brain.
Golly, man. And that was one thing that was going back to what we were talking about. That was ended up being ruined because of gang violence, right?
Gang violence fucked it up, man. They tried it again. This time it was $2 because the first one was only $1. Everybody was gonna go. Everybody went. But the second one they did, I didn't go to the second one because it just didn't feel right. You know, after seeing what I saw, I mean, we're in the bathroom taking a whiz. And brothers, they walked in the bathroom taking a piss. Brothers never stopped pissing, just took his jacket off and gave it to him. I'm not bullshitting. Because it was like that, man. They walked in, they was back then, leather jackets was before tennis shoes was getting jacked. That was nigga jack you for leather jackets, especially waistline. And that's what they did, man. And it was a horrible thing, man. The Coliseum, almost every few minutes you got crowds running because people was beat up and they was mobbing on folks, man. This is true. You talking about triple OGs, man. Cass is pretty much either dead or in jail. Like Tookie, of course, he's gone. But Jamil, I think Jamil is still alive. But they was terrorizing, man. They terrorized the Coliseum that day, dude. For real.
Yeah, man. Well, let's get to maybe one or two more questions, then we're going to jump into your back in the day segment. Someone wants to know, did you ever meet or party with Rick James?
Nah. Rick James was the shit, man. Man. I saw him a couple times. I knew the Mary Jane girls, but Rick James was like Prince. You didn't hang out. No. I wish I did, but no.
Easy Steve says, Lonzo, have you reached out to Tamika Wright for an interview, and would that be something you're interested in?
Nah, man. I don't know anybody that asked to interview Tamika Wright. I can't recall anybody that's interviewed Tamika. I think she did a couple of interviews while Straight Outta Compton was going on, but other than that, I haven't seen her on Vlad, another show, so I'm probably not. Not mad.
To the best.
Go ahead.
To the best of your knowledge, is she well off financially?
I would think
because she owns Ruthless, right?
Yeah, you can't do nothing with Ruthless anything without her getting paid.
Okay.
So yeah. I think she's very well off.
And that was all decided on his deathbed, right? On Easy's deathbed.
Yeah, name was typed in on the birth certificate. On the marriage certificate. I saw that. It was typed in. It wasn't signed. Which I thought was very, very interesting.
Yeah. You want to get into the segment?
Yeah, let's do that, man. Let's do that. Yeah, okay. Hey, folks, look, you know what? I got, being a grown-ass man, I got a whole lot of pictures, man. A whole lot of pictures. And I know these pictures don't mean a lot. So they don't mean a lot to some people, my family, but they mean a lot to me. And I'm going to take time and scroll through some of these pictures and give you all the idea of some of the things that, see some people that you never saw before. You may have heard about them. See some things you never saw before, and just give you an idea of what it was like back in the day. And we're gonna do. I'm gonna create a new segment called "Back in the Day" with Lonzo. Back in the day, there was two guys that did everything West Coast, and that was me and Roger Clayton. Roger's in the blue. That's me in my wrecking crew jacket with the pinky ring, the whole 9 yards. And we're at Skateland. And
you want to make it a full screen and take me off, Lonzo, so people can see it?
I can do that.
Yeah. That way everybody can see it.
Put you on the side for a minute. And that's the two brothers that that started everything West Coast. Roger ran Uncle Jam's Army. I ran the Wrecking Crew. We both started off about the same time. He was a promoter. I was a DJ for him. Later, I became my own DJ and promoter. Roger had the biggest production company in the city, Uncle Jam's Army, and I had all his after parties, and we were friends and foes. We liked each other, but we couldn't stand each other sometimes because every once in a while, the competition between the two of us just made the other one, just pissed the other one off, okay? I got stories about this brother forever, and in fact, he was the motivation behind my book until he died. He died 2010, and for me, it was one of those times where like somebody just pulled the plug on my motivation because I was only writing my book to beat him to his. And when he checked out, when he died, it just set me back, and I didn't get motivation to finish my book until I heard about Straight Outta Compton. Let me show you what else we got here. When I talk about the Eve After Dark and the fellas that had my back when shit went down, you're looking at most of them right now. It's only two fellas, about three guys that's missing in this picture right here. We were together at the club. As some of y'all know, I ran the club up until about 2 years ago. The brother in the black shirt, that's my man Whoop. The brother with my hand on the shoulder, that's Sylvester. The other brother in the pink is Sylvester's brother, Wendell. Wendell checked out. I keep saying checked out. He passed a couple years ago. That's Unknown's, top of Unknown's bald-ass head right there. And the other brother's name was Paul. We all were from the same neighborhood, and they've been with me since day one. These are day one, Eve After Darkies, okay? When I opened the door, they were standing there. Me and Whoop, the brother next to me, we lived on the same street. And these are like I said, these are day ones before Dre, before Yella. So when people talk about getting stomped and beat up, he was fighting these cats right here. This is a picture I found. This is a picture, man, of some brothers that I probably went to school with or whatever the case may be. This is how we looked at homecoming back in the 70s, folks. You had to have a maxi coat, a hat, some dress shoes. I think my man in the burgundy coat, look how he got some platforms. This is some old school shit right here, man. This is old school shit. Ain't many people on the internet gonna have this right here. And if they do, more power to it. But I'm gonna be the first one to show you how we did it and what it looked like from a real man's grown man's perspective. And back in the day, we did it different, man. We actually had to go to the tailor shop for homecoming, for the prom. Whatever we did, we spent money on it. And back then, a pair of tailored pants was $20. Them suits right there that you're looking at right now, them tailor-made, them yellow suits with the maxi pants, it might have cost you about $75. But man, that was a lot of money back then. Think about that, folks. Let me go here. That's your boy Lonzo, the godfather of West Coast hip hop, at about 19 years old. Okay, I was right there with the cats. I wasn't a gangbanger. I was always a player, hustler, and I still hustle. And I don't play as much as I used to, but I still do what I got to do. And this is just an idea of what I look like. So if people talk that shit about who was there, who did what they look, no. I've been doing this for a long time. Ain't nothing about me brand new. This is how I've been since I was in high school, 19, 20 years old. I was getting in adult clubs at 19 years old because I carried myself like an adult. And that's me with my without the beard. My hair is pulled back, so you can't see my hair. But the ascot tie, the maxi coat, that coat cost me $60 man, back in the 70s. I had to cut this man's line for damn near a month to get that coat. True story. I'll tell you the story one day. But this is just an idea of some of the things that a fraction of some of the things that we experienced growing up in Compton. Now this right here, this is what the crowd looked like at the sports arena at the Watt Stacks that was walking around taking folks' jackets. As you can see, all of them have on leather jackets, all of them a waistline. They got the ace deuces bent down and the beanies. That was the look of the 70s gangbanger, the OG gangbangers. That's what they looked like. Crips and Bloods. Crips and Bloods, and you couldn't wear that jacket. You couldn't wear a leather jacket unless you was rolling with somebody, folks. My buddy had a leather jacket, and he was gonna sell it to me because he couldn't wear it to Gompers. I figured I could wear it to Centennial because I live 100 yards from Centennial. I figure if somebody gonna mess with me, I could beat him to the pad. Well, I was wrong. A brother stuck up on my ass and choked the shit out of me trying to take my leather jacket that I hadn't even paid for yet. And I talked to him. I kept buttoning it. I kept unbuttoning it. To one of my partners saw me in the chokehold, and I started seeing them little stars and shit. I'm about to pass out, and he said, "No, let him go, man. Let him go." "No, man, I'm taking this nigga's coat." "No, let him go." And my boy stepped to homeboy, because again, this was a civilian versus gangster situation, and civilians didn't really mess with, gangsters really didn't mess with civilians back then. And because my boy was a gangster, and the homeboy that was trying to jack me was a gangster, he let me go. He told me, "Don't wear the goddamn coat no more. If you do, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna kick your ass and take it from you." Needless to say, I gave that jacket back to my boy, and I never paid for it. Like, gave it back to his ass. I didn't wear leather jackets no more. When I did, I wore a white one. Now, these are just a few pictures of what we did back in the day, folks. I mean, I wanted to show you those just to give you an idea of something you never saw before. And like I said, that was me and my boy Roger, us at dances, the crew that put hands on folks. When I had a problem at Eve After Dark, them brothers put hands on folks for me. Okay, we did what we had to do, and that was a big difference in what was sometimes being said versus what really happened.
Love that, man. It's a good trip down memory lane, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a little intro. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna produce this real right. Have a little intro back in the day with Lonzo. I'm gonna show y'all some pictures and some videos from time to time of some stuff that we did and how things looked, and so you give you a real good idea, a real good perspective of what it was like back then. The best I could possibly do.
Yeah, I love that, man. That's gonna be fun, dog. That's gonna be real fun, especially if you incorporate video into that. That'll be
looking forward to it, Doc. Looking forward to it. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
Man. Well, before we talk about what you have coming up this Thursday, I once again want to ask everybody listening to the sound of my voice to hit that like button, please. Alonzo has some dope interviews that you guys need to check out. Just go to the video tab on his page and just scroll through it and just check out some of the dope interviews. We also post clips of the show every day, so there's always something to look forward to and check out right here on N.W.A Stories with Alonzo. Tell a friend about the channel. We really appreciate it. What you got coming up on Thursday, man?
You know what? I tripped out. I thought I had a guest for Thursday. I don't have one yet. I'm gonna make some phone calls tomorrow. I have somebody. I got Shirley Murdoch coming next Thursday, but not this. I thought she was coming this Thursday. I forgot it was 5 Saturdays in this month, 5 Thursdays in this month. So we might be doing another show like this right here, or I'm gonna find me a guest. I'm gonna call somebody tomorrow and figure something out. But yeah,
I got a couple people. Oh
yeah, you did. You do.
So
you did.
Hit me up offline.
All right, we'll do that. We'll make that
Hit
happen.
me up offline. I got a couple of interesting cats. I would love to be on your show. So
no problem.
Interesting stories. Cool, man. Yeah. How'd that interview with Mama Boo go last week?
Man, you know, Mama Boo, her interview was so dynamic, man, that people were hitting me up to contact her before the show even ran. Okay.
Damn.
I put her show up kind of early and to let people know what's happening. And then when I said ex-gangbanger turned community activist, a couple people from out of state called me. Lonzo, I need to talk to that young lady, okay? And I connected them, and Mama Boo we was on a Zoom call Friday. She missed one yesterday, but she's in direct line for some great things to happen for her because of what she is and what she's done. And she's a perfect example of what we need more of. So yeah, her interview was dynamite, Doc.
Yeah, I love that, man. And also make sure you guys check out his interview he did with Lila Steinberg, who was Tupac's former manager. What was the coolest thing you learned from that interview?
Man, you know what? It's funny because I knew a lot of stuff already, but I think the fact that she never slept with Tupac, because everybody swore she was Tupac's girlfriend.
Mm.
I just listened to Michael Eric Dyson's book about Tupac called "Holla If You Hear Me," and the way he says it in the book is like she brought Tupac home to meet her husband, and it was cool, then it wasn't cool, then it was cool, then it wasn't cool. So I'm glad I was able to clear that up with her. She said never. People thought we were, but and I understand that, from a Gemini mind. Sometimes we can do things differently, and we ain't always got to have it. Okay, sometimes we understand the value of the relationship more so than the sex, and that's something that a lot of cats need to figure out. Because once you figure that out, you'd be surprised how much better off you'll be.
Man, you gotta say that shit louder for the people in the back, dog. It's not all about that quick pussy, man. Sometimes it's
All
about
pussy
long-term
ain't
relationship.
good pussy.
Man.
Okay, if you think so, call me offline. Okay. I got to say, I got a little video I did about that, man. All pussy is not good pussy. Okay. And somebody say, who told you that? I mean, some Lonzo told you that. Okay. Sometimes you got to pass it to keep the relationship good, man. The relationship is more, because once you cross that line, it's hard to go back.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to go back.
Facts, especially women. They let their feelings get involved, forget about it.
The vagina and the heart are one organ.
Mm-hmm.
We don't think like that. We don't think like that.
No.
Okay. For us, going to the bathroom, you having sex is like going to the bathroom. Okay.
Facts.
It's just something we have to do. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But when you start crossing that line, the vagina and the heart, in a lot of cases, are one organ, and you're going to find yourself with a headache.
Mm-hmm. Be careful.
Either you're going to find yourself with a headache or a hoe. One of the two. Either you're going to find yourself with a headache or a hoe. Okay. One of the two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, before we get out of here, let's give a shout out to the people in the group. I see 57 on my end. It counts in between 53 and 57. CC Funk 1, shout out Montana Max. Best Ever Didn't, Gentile Killer, interesting name. Dominic Mayweather, MPWTF, Easy Steve, Christopher Harris, Miami 808, Lyco, Deuce Times. We definitely appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in and telling a friend. Dylan Chase, Cadillac Gaddafi, America's Maker. We're seeing a lot of new names, Lonzo. I'm loving this, man.
I am too, man.
Razmir Jones. I mean, this is dope, man. Thank you guys for keep tuning in every Tuesday and Thursday right here on N.W.A. Stories with Lonzo. Any other?
I see somebody asked about a personal friend of mine, man. Christopher Harris said, whatever happened to Charles from City Fresh Records? I don't know who Christopher Harris is, but I don't know how you know Charles, but Charles is doing fantastic, bruh. Charles is he's not in the music industry no more. He's in the computers. Always was a smart brother. And like most cats in the 80s and 90s, he tried his hand to music business. Thinking it wasn't for me. Guys are something more solid, and we talk on a regular basis. In fact, the brother birthday is coming up. I got to put his make sure I put him on my calendar to call. I know you're a Scorpio. I always call him on his birthday, man, to see how he's doing.
It's dope, man. Well, it's always a pleasure, Lonzo. I'm done. If you got anything else, man, the floor is yours, man.
Lonzo, can you reach out for Egyptian Lover for an interview?
Oh, yeah, I had that on for Miami 808. I was going to save that for next week, but yeah, go ahead. Jump on
Miami 808, I've reached out for Egypt for an interview. Told me he don't do interviews no more. And I saw him on another goddamn show about a week later, and it was a fresh video. I'm not mad at him, but I think we still got some Uncle Jam's Army shit we got to clear up. Okay. Oh, speaking of Uncle Jam's Army, I got to say this. Rest in peace, General Jeff.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, General Jeff passed on Saturday. They said he passed on Thursday. Then they said he passed on Friday. It was official. General Jeff was a member of Bobby Jimmy and the Critters. He was a member of the LA Dream Team. Oh no, Rodney and Joe Cooley, and then he stepped in for Rudy to do some shows with Snake Puppy in the LA Dream Team. I'm gonna leave it like that. Rest in peace, my brother. We had our issues, but it's sometimes real shit supersedes bullshit, and I'm gonna leave it like that.
Good man, dude. Always a pleasure. Just like you told me earlier, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate these Tuesdays getting this game from you, and I definitely look forward to seeing where this channel takes us. And make sure they tell them about Roku.
Oh, yeah, folks, don't forget about the Homegrown Media Network on the Roku platform. Folks, please, I got more content coming up there. Please just download the app. Don't cost a dime. Just put me on your channel, on your channel listing, the Homegrown Media Network, 2 words, the Homegrown Media Network. I got a phone. I got a meeting tomorrow. Y'all need to be. If everything goes good, y'all need to be there. All right, Dusty one. Much love, Doc. Much love to everybody in the chat room. I'm out of here, folks. Until next time, from the West Coast to the East Coast and everything between, folks. You're live with Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop. From Eve After Dark to concerts in the park. This is how we do it. Me and Dusty one every Tuesday. That, folks. We got. Who the fuck is this?